Yo, what up YouTube? It's your boy Dino. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a pause menu that looks really good. So you can use this for exiting out of levels, to look at collectibles, to purchase things, whatever the heck you would want to use it for. I'm just going to show you how to make a general pause menu. Alright, so to begin, you're going to want to go ahead and grab a head camera tracker. You're going to place it down. Next, you're going to grab a microchip. And you're gonna scope it into the actual head tracker like that. Now I'm just gonna label this pause menu. And then we're gonna go off to the side here. So now we're gonna go ahead and get the button that we want to use for our pause menu. I'm gonna go ahead and use a wireless receiver. And I'm going to put a tag that basically shows the touchpad. Now, how did I get that tag? If we go into the character here and we go into his controller logic, we can actually go into here and you'll see the button right here. I just connected that to a transmitter and then I labeled the transmitter that object. So you guys can label it that if you guys want. And then simply after you go ahead and you get the wireless receiver, you just want to make sure that you can detect it in the scene. So now we're going to go ahead and grab a selector. Alright, that's good. And then after we grab the selector, we're going to go ahead and grab this, duplicate it, and then get the L3 signal, but we're gonna get the local one. So L3 local. So if you go into here, you have two L3s. You have this one right here, which is just says left stick. You do not want that one. You want left stick local. And then you're gonna put that into one of these, label it L3 or label it L3 local, whatever you want. So mine's is labeled L3. We're gonna go ahead and split that twice. So we're gonna split it once, then we're gonna go into the up and down. We're gonna split that again. We're going to duplicate this afterwards, and then we're going to put this right there and right there. We're gonna duplicate this 2 more times down here. And one of them is gonna be labeled circle. I just put a 0. And then I'm gonna label one of these X. So you guys already know how to get those labels yourself. We're going to grab a counter. And we're gonna make it so that it resets itself like that. And we're gonna copy that for both of these. Now before I forget, let's just go ahead and grab a calculator. We're gonna set it to more than, and then we're gonna do 0.50%. We're gonna copy that twice, like that. And then we're just simply going to put these up here. Delete these. And then put these right there. And that's just gonna make it so that this doesn't feel too sensitive. It's going to make it so that you have to push the stick a decent amount before it actually switches to the next menu. So then next we're going to go ahead and grab a AND gate. And first off, before we even, well, we could put this AND gate down anyways, but before anything, we're just going to go ahead and grab this node and place it right there. And then I'm just going to do that to delete that wire that sticks out of it. And we're going to go like that. We're going to grab our AND gate and we're going to put them in there like that. So now I'm going to spread this out a decent amount. And then in this AND gate, we're going to connect this X output right here. And there you go. Now the circle output is going to reset our menu like that, which will make our menu not work. And then in the second output, because A is default, so we want it so that we actually have to press the button in order to actually open the menu. We're gonna make it so that the menu activates. So I'm gonna go like this, so that way it all activates. So right now none of the menus are gonna work because none of these are on. And then with that, I also like to turn off the output for L3. So we could go ahead and extend this and add one of these nodes over here. Just so that way L3 doesn't do anything if this isn't on. So whenever we go to the default output, we want the output to always go back to the first part of your menu. So this right here is going to be the amounts of options in your menu. For me, I'm just going to have a resume and exit just as a simple example for you guys. You guys can go ahead and do as many outputs as you want and as many menus as you want. You know, just you would have to add more AND gates, more nodes, and then just more outputs. So now making sure that we're in here, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves our design that we want to do. So you can use anything you want here for design. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this, and then I'm going to combine it with the microchip. I don't know what the heck this is. Look through the head. What? Actually, go ahead and grab both of these, take them out, and then group them together, and then put them back inside of the head. That's kind of cool. It just lets you look through the head like that. I don't even know. Okay, so now once these are together, all this is going to do, it's going to make it really convenient for you to move your menu around. So whenever you're looking through this, you're able to move the menu to the spot that you want. So I'm gonna scope into my menu now, and now we're gonna actually make what the menu looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and do option 1, which is gonna be resume. And then we're gonna have option 2, which is gonna be exit. Now, by default, we want it to be a dark yellow. So we're going to go ahead and darken it. So now we can push these off to the side, and what we want to go ahead and do is make it so that whenever we're selecting these items, it's going to change color and become bigger. So I'm just going to grab a node, and then we're going to make them bigger like that. Okay, so I grabbed the wrong one. And then I'm just gonna lighten up the color like that. I'm gonna do 10. And that's gonna be the first one. Now let me just take that back and then just delete that. And then delete that. There you go. And then this one's gonna be the second one. So then we're gonna make the second one really big. And we're gonna do the same thing. So there you go. So that right there is how you're going to do it. And that's going to basically show which one you're selecting. So this one's our exit down here. And this one's our resume. Now normally we want these to be off. So we're going to go ahead and delete the signal in both of those. And now we're just going to go ahead and turn these off. So by default, we want them to not be on, right? So pretty good. Now, we're going to want our character to stand still whenever we're in the pause menu. You can add this if you want. And this is the same way you would add to any of your characters. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a thing that detects a tag, right? And now we're just gonna go ahead and add a tag, and this tag is gonna be called pause. And now we're go ahead and detect pause. Just reset that so that dude's not doing that whole dance thingy. And now whenever we are paused, we will show this tag right here that we are paused, or this trigger zone. So we're just gonna make that infinite like that. And now that's gonna detect whatever it is that we need to detect. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and record our character like this, and we're just gonna go ahead and make it so that he can't do anything. So then I'm gonna make it so that no animations are able to play. I mean, I don't know what the heck I put there, but we're gonna go ahead and turn off these. And this level complete one too. And these sound effects. Alright, so now all of that stuff is off, which means if I'm in the pause menu, he won't move. And already we got a nice little pause menu working pretty well. But we want it to look a bit more spicy, a bit better, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Now, the way that I do that is I go ahead into this grade effect right here. And right here you can make it so that it's all grayed out like that. Or like that. And then add a bit of gray to it. And then when the pause menu is open, that activates like that. And then you can see right there that it looks pretty good. You got the resume, the exit, and everything seems like it's paused. Now if you got enemies in your level and you want them to stop moving, you would use the same exact pause thing right here and just make all their logic stop. And that would stop all the enemies from moving and all that stuff. So, you know, you could use this to pause enemies and pause water and pause all types of logic that you don't want moving around whenever you're in the pause mode, to make the pause effect a lot better. Okay, so now, whenever we select resume to the level, we're gonna go ahead and make it so that it brings us back once again. And then this right here is simply going to activate a tag, which is going to tell us that we want to exit the level. So we're going to call it exit active. Right? So now we have exit active. So what you would do is you would have a world chip for any of these levels. So we would add like a world chip or whatever, like this. And that world chip would have a trigger zone like this one. You would just want to make sure you hit tag and that you make it infinite. And then we would want exit active. Let me just make sure that we're selecting the right thing. There you go. Oh, it's wrong though. They're opposite. Hold up, that's why. There you go. Now that should be good. So now we can exit, and then with bam, you triggered the doorway. It's gonna kick you out of the level. You know, resume is gonna bring you back into the map. And there you go. So now you saw that our character was moving there. I didn't think he was going to move like that, but I know why he's doing it. The whole reason he's doing that is because he's just programmed just to keep going wherever he's going. So the way we would stop that is by taking a mover and making it so that it's active, turning all its inputs all the way up, but then turning these all the way down. And then by default it's off. So then we'd go to the rotator, or actually let's go to an advanced rotator. So that way this guy really doesn't rotate anywhere. And we would do exactly the same thing. And then make it so that normally it's off, but then it turns on. And now if we kind of like rotate a little bit, he just completely stops, which is what we want. And say we jump in the air, he stops in the air. You can go ahead and make it so that the animation works, but I'm not going to go into all those details. But you can see that it all works. Now, how can we give this pause menu a little bit of more love, right? You want to give it a bit of more love, so we're going to go ahead and do that. The way we're going to do that is by adding any effects we like. So you could add any type of information or just decorate it. I'm just going to go ahead and decorate it. A little more simpler one. But you could do animations with like actual keyframes and stuff, like to get more specific animations. So we're just going to look through and then just increase these effects. So we just got to keep looking through and then fixing up the effects. There you go, it seems pretty good. So now let's go into our microchip, and we just want it so that the stuff turns on whenever whenever the thing is actually on. So the way we're gonna do that is just by default having it on, and then whenever we're on off the pause or whatever, it's going to activate this keyframe, making it turn off. So now we pause. We got a little bit of an effect now, and now we got a little pause menu that moves around with us. You know what I mean? You could use this type of logic for like inventories and actually walk around with an inventory and interact with the inventory. Use like your D-pad and like select stuff, which is really cool. But this right here is like a little pause menu for you guys. So, you know, we can exit out the level if we like. Boom. Simple stuff. So there you go, guys. That's how you make it. Simple. So if you guys like this video and you guys want to see more stuff like this, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If there's anything specific you guys want to learn, go ahead and comment that down below, whether it be me making an inventory. I'll make a more simpler version, but just so that way you guys can have a little bit of a foundation to build your own inventory. Just comment it down below and I'll go ahead and make that stuff for you guys. So it's your boy Dino signing out with another cool video. Peace out, guys.